Hi guys, Josh here, and Pathea Games, the developers behind My Time at Porsche and My Time at Sandrock, just revealed the very first trailer for their next game, My Time at Evershine. In this video, I'll go over everything we know about it so far, what should make it different from previous entries, my personal thoughts as someone who enjoys these games, and I want this to be a discussion, so I would love to know your thoughts as well in the comments. Let's get the obvious out of the way. I know you're thinking about it, the graphics. While My Time at Sandrock was a big step up from Porsche, and I'm talking about the PC version here just to be clear, overall it had a similar style and you could easily tell the continuity. Now with Evershine, it's definitely shining, it's fresh and beautiful, but also quite different. We still get the vibrant colors and a bit of a cute, cartoony touch to everything. It's not trying to be hyper realistic, but there is a lot more detail, and most notably, the characters have realistic body proportions. No more giant heads, which personally I didn't mind too much. I thought they made the games very recognizable, but I also know that a lot of people felt like the characters looked too weird or young, so maybe they will be able to reach a new audience who couldn't get into the first two games with this new style. So I understand why they're making the change. I think it does look beautiful, quite comparable to Pathea, I would say at first glance, but by looking at the colors, the environment, the outfits, you can still tell that it belongs to the My Time series. Overall, I am neutral on this stylistic change. As long as the quality of the art remains great and that the gameplay is good, I will be enjoying the game no matter the size of my character's head. The game will be taking place in Evershine, a brand new settlement on the fringes of the Free Cities and close to the border of the Duvos Empire. Based on this shot from the trailer, it seems like we'll have access to both a desertic region and one with more greenery, so you should feel at home if you've played either one of the previous games. According to the story description on the Steam page, it looks like everything will be taking place 3 years after the events from Porsche and Sandrock, as a conflict is emerging between the Duvos Empire and the Principality of Pathea, who are both claiming a territory as their own, and I'm guessing these huge buildings in the distance probably have something to do with that. But if we have any My Time lore experts watching this video, please let me know. So Evershine will be located close to that conflict area, and it will be a brand new settlement, which means that instead of repairing and revitalizing a town, we will be building it from the ground up. If you previously heard of Project Me or had the chance to take part in the playtest, that was originally supposed to be a mobile game from the same developers, and it had pretty much the same premise of building up the whole town. They decided to drop the mobile format to instead make a game for PC and consoles, just like the previous entries, but to keep some of the ideas from Project Me. So if you are looking forward to Project Me, I'm sorry to tell you that it's no longer happening, but we are getting My Time at Evershine, which I think seems like a pretty good trade-off. And it also explains why it will have some different mechanics. So the biggest difference from the previous games is the fact that you will be creating that settlement of Evershine, and instead of being a simple builder just following orders, you will be the governor. You will choose and recruit different settlers, and you'll use either prefabricated builds if you want to make something that looks good quickly, or if you're feeling creative, you'll also be able to create buildings piece by piece. If you played Porsche or Sandrock, you know that these games have hundreds of hours of content, so many quests, so many things to collect, places to explore, and now with the option to create and customize not only your house but the whole town, I could see this becoming a game that keeps you hooked for a very long time. All of this will be made even more fun in multiplayer. Sandrock does have a multiplayer mode, but it is separate from the main story, so you have to make a new save file, a new character. The system to get your friends to join you is very clunky, not intuitive, and don't get me wrong, it is a lot of fun, but it could have been executed in a better way. So clearly they listened to feedback, and this time we'll have a more seamless co-op experience for up to 4 players, where you'll be able to go through the whole story together, build up the town, explore dungeons, and all of the other side activities. The Steam page also mentions sharing romantic moments, so I don't know if that means you can get married to another player, or if each player can get married to a different NPC, or to the same NPC, I don't know. I'm sure we'll have more details in time, but what we need to know for now is that the game is being built with multiplayer in mind from the start, instead of it being an extra feature and the clunkiness that typically comes from that. And even if you play by yourself, you won't be totally alone. As always, the game will feature romance. There should be 8 romanceable characters, including 2 that will be chosen by backers of the Kickstarter campaign. Knowing the track record of Pathea Games and how some of the community members can be very passionate about certain characters, I also wouldn't be surprised if they added more. Sandrock was pretty fun as you could go on dates and there were lots of interactions possible with the characters. And this time they're adding to that by letting you have up to 3 followers to help you gather resources, build, or battle, kind of like in recent Rune Factory games. This sounds like a great way to make the experience a bit less lonely, and this developers always does a great job at creating engaging dialogue, stories, amazing voice acting, so I have no doubt the same quality will be here. You can tell they're taking inspiration from lots of games, not only Rune Factory with the battle companions, but will also have a glider that should facilitate exploring the large open world. With the shape of the glider, the new character models, and environments all together, you could tell me this scene was from Pathea and I would believe you. I don't know if every game needs a glider. The next Story of Seasons will also have one. I think it is fun and useful, but I would love to see games try other types of flying, gliding vehicles. The My Time universe has so much interesting technology and creatures, and I know it is a small detail, but I think they could do something way more creative here. One thing I am wondering is if crafting will play as big of a part as in previous entries. The trailer we have right now is fairly short, we don't see too much gameplay, but there's no mention of a workshop either in the trailer or on the Steam page. You also will not be a builder this time around, so I'm thinking maybe we'll just gather resources and trade with different characters that will build the things for us, instead of having to deal with so many machines, which I think could be a fun change, but we'll have to wait until we get more information before confirming any of it. Other than that, the game should follow the steps of its predecessors and improve upon what we've had so far. So if you're interested, what's next? Right now, they have a Steam page where you can wishlist the game, and there are also plans to release it for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo's next console. Just like for previous entries, Pathea Games will be doing a Kickstarter campaign in order to help support the development of My Time at Evershine. My Time at Sandrock cost the developer $12 million to produce. They estimate that this new one should require a similar budget. Of course, a majority of it should be covered by their existing revenue streams, but the Kickstarter campaign will allow them to do a bit more, provide backers with extra perks like choosing some of the romanceable characters, getting access to the game early, and more ways to provide feedback. The campaign will launch on September 24th, and we should learn a lot more about the game at that time, and I'll put a link to that in the description. So will you be backing My Time at Evershine? Have you backed the previous games? And what do you think of a developer doing crowdfunding even after having released multiple successful titles already? Let me know all of your thoughts about My Time at Evershine. For me, I am very excited for it. I don't have a strong opinion on the art style, I love the old one, this is good as well. And I appreciate that they're trying something different, especially with the gameplay, and how we'll get to build a whole town from the ground up. The next Rune Factory game, Guardians of Azuma, will also have a similar mechanic, so that's a fun coincidence, and if you want to know more about that game, I do have a video on it. So leave a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.